Hello. Just gonna try and figure out the best way to do this. Hopefully that works this time. Hopefully my picture of my face is in a good spot. So hello there. I'm a multimedia artist based on Treaty 6 territory with a BFA from the University of Alberta. Through painting, printmaking, performative action, and bricolage, I create touchstone metaphors. Much of my work involves the use of found materials sourced from my wandering practice. Alleys, the river valley, thrift stores, the bottom of a puddle. I believe that anything can have poetic value if viewed from the right angle, even a discarded diner chair. Within the world of this residency, I have been prompted to consider the idea of empty cities with you. From August to October, the folks at hcma Edmonton and myself engaged in many discussions over Zoom, framing this idea through a visual performative lens. These conversations unexpectedly resulted in 2 real-world installations and a future January 2023 show at the Gallery Harcourt House in Edmonton. My quest with hcma began with this. If human civilization as we know it were to crumble tomorrow, cities emptied, what would future archaeologists infer about our relationship with trash? Would they think that it was something our society valued and respected? Worshipped even? Or would they think that we were short-sighted for stuffing every corner of the earth with it? Garbage and waste are a nearly unavoidable product of civilization at this speed and scale, yet as our footprint expands, places to hide trash decrease. A need for object stewardship grows. With that in mind, we started off by considering our relationship with the overlooked spaces in our cities. Back alley labyrinths, garbage receptacles, parking lots, how they are used, who is welcome in them, whether or not they are more interesting than the front of a building. But of course, when speculating on empty cities of the future, one must slow down and consider how they could come to be that way in the first place. To help sharpen our noticing muscles, we started off with a magic trick, which I will share with you. It's called slow down. To understand the present, one must contemplate the past. So I'm going to ask you to slow down. Consider your feet planted firmly on the ground, or maybe cross-legged on your chair. Look for 5 things you can see. The window outside, the inside of your eyelids, the picture on the wall, maybe is a little crooked. Four things you can hear. The wind outside, the hum of your refrigerator. It's getting kind of cold out, so maybe you can hear your furnace. Three things you can touch. Your hands on your clothing, your tongue to the roof of your mouth, the air on your skin. 2 things you can smell. Maybe coffee breath. Maybe this morning's dinner. Maybe the candle you have lit. And 1 thing you can taste. Look closely and you will start to notice magic in the world around you. Look up. Look down. and the walls become the world all around. Contemplate the walls around you, the lifespan of the gallium sphinx moth. Breathe deep, think down, lower. 20 meters, pre-glacial sediment, bear-sized beavers, sandstone, salt, silica, a leaf falling to the ground, layers of shale, coal, clay, Cretaceous, the Devonian gardens, fossil seeds, Precambrian, no data available. Look for proof of passing time. On the left, you'll see proof of passing time. And on the right, you'll see a gallium sphinx moth that I found near 2 o'clock Creek. A gallium sphinx moth that I found near 2 o'clock Creek. So when researching the urban geology of Edmonton, I came across a series of maps from 1973. This one depicts the thickness of gravels, sands, and overburdens of Saskatchewan-Sippy, which is Cree for the swift-flowing river that cuts through this island of Amiskwaciwâskahikan, Beaver Hills House, or Edmonton. It all depends on how far you're thinking back. Do you think it looks like a bird? I kind of think it looks like a bird. You can kind of see like the beak at the top and the wings. Think down. Now this is the same swatch of land. Figure 44, sewer construction, 15 to 30 meters below the surface. Do you see the dinosaur skull? It's yellow. Think deeper, figure 38, potential sulfate hazard in the Edmonton area, 1973. Upper crust, suitability of the Edmonton area for solid waste disposal. Chapter 2, midsummer, when it started to get hot, I mean really, really hot, record-breaking, I started to think about concrete and how it is so good at retaining energy. I thought about the urban heat island effect, how cities can be 2.5 degrees hotter than surrounding rural areas. The way you can grow fruit trees in Edmonton that you can't grow in Entwistle, which is only 100 kilometers west. As my body melted in the radiance of Churchill Square downtown, I stared at the Sundance patch of trees and thought how much happier they could be if they were in the river valley, a 5-minute walk south, their leaves browning and crumbling in the August sun. It really was hot outside. So hot, in fact, that for the first time in my memory, the mosquitoes disappeared. The short grass burned away. My windshield left clean after a drive through the country. I thought about monocrops, grass, the collapse of ecosystems, the plastic divide between nature and culture, human time and earth time. A time before Metropolis, before a time before Metropolis, before Saskatchewan-Sippy was low and turquoise in August, epochs when Rocky Mountain glaciers were taller than Edmonton's tallest buildings, and also taller than that stack of water cups beside the dinosaur in the top right. And then I started to think about magical thinking, the kind that lets you believe your Nikes manufacture themselves and the reusable Tupperware you throw in the garbage dump disappears to Mars. I started to think about garbage fossils, artifacts of luxury and time, the layers and the environment around us. So these are details from my second installation titled Zebras Fix What Unicorns Break. On the left is an older painting titled Mountains Are the Water Towers of the World. Now I got that title from a Mountains 101 class offered through the U of A that I took a couple years ago. It's actually available on Coursera. So in that painting, a child in the gallery of the future contemplates the hydrological system and legacy pollutants from human activity. The image on the right demonstrates the fragility of these systems. A mineral skull, a stack of paper cups, beware. Some more details from that idea. I like to always think about these as like in progress, sort of things that I build on over the years. Chapter 3. It's easy to feel deflated in the face of the climate crisis. Chapter 3. It's easy to feel deflated in the face of the climate crisis. And in an effort to ask difficult questions, much of my work can be a little heavy. I started to dream of hope, an antidote. So rather than focusing on the negative and just pointing at a problem, for this installation, I thought I would offer a solution. So I featured Edmonton's only tree planting subscription service, Shrubscriber, community in the shape of a forest, a boots on the ground initiative to help cool Edmonton down. Untamed boulevards, dandelions nodding in the breeze, the benefits of trees in their shade, the need to cool down and relax. I started to dream about nature, nature as first aid. Thinking about grass and golf, actually specifically the golf course by my house. On the right, some of the heat islands, kind of like skyscraper plinths. Other mountains are the water towers of the world box. Think about the ways that slowing down and looking enhances your vision. With all of this heat and frenzy, it is of course easy to burn out. Living through relentless tides of crisis, tragedy, emergency, lather, rinse, repeat, like, share, subscribe, it wears on a person. So I invited everybody to reconnect with themselves, to think about movement, meditation, slowing down, going outside, making space to listen. Which brings me back to that magic trick from earlier. Notice the world around you, and it might just notice you back. We can't always be doom and gloom, or nothing will ever get done. In the spirit of Fluxus, which I'm inspired by, it is important to have fun so that we have a reason to keep going. Slowing down and taking the time to rest can be radical action. We talked about labyrinths, taking unexpected turns, letting your surprise wander into your life. We thought about taking time and slowing down, questioning who we are on the land we occupy, taking the time to write in the sand, and playing games, little games. Instructions: locate any parking lot, collect 5 forgotten objects, tell their story, post them for sale online. Instructions: take out a piece of paper, remember something, draw a scribble, take note. Are the lines smooth or jagged? This is your map. Go for a walk. Well, I think that's about all I have time for, but I wanted to leave by saying how grateful I am to have had the opportunity to exchange ideas with everyone at HCMA Edmonton. This has been really lovely, and I've enjoyed developing my ideas further with you guys. Thanks for your time, and let me know if you find any back alley chairs that could be made into a friend for my unicorn up there. Happy wandering. Until then, happy wandering.